Pretty girl swag coming. 3, 2, 1. Ow! This right here is my swag. All the boys.
Hey, it's nice to see you.
You as well.
Yeah, awesome. How you been doing today?
I'm good.
Good.
Just driving, working.
Yeah, where you headed to right now?
I'm headed to Alabama actually
Okay,
right now.
awesome. That's where I am right now. So cool.
I'm in Florida. All these love bugs. Lord knows I don't like bugs.
I know. The South is filled with them, especially right now. It's so humid down here. I can't even.
Right.
It's awful. Yeah.
I don't like the humid. I'm from Vegas. It's dry out there.
Yeah. Oh, it's so dry. Yeah, I've been.
But it's better though, because you could take a shower and you come out the shower and you feel like you're,
You can dry off and not just like stay wet the whole time. Yeah.
Right.
Awesome. Well, I'm very excited to be sort of meeting you, video meeting you, I guess. I guess I just want to start this off by asking you about your journey that led you to becoming a truck driver. So how did that happen for you?
Well, it's kind of weird because I never wanted to be a truck driver. I was married and I got on the truck with my spouse, and it was kind of a weird story because I was sick. I had a toothache, so I went and got some. My mom gave me like a Percocet or something, and I was allergic to it, so I fell asleep for most of the trip. But when I woke up, it was snowing. It was on New Year's Eve, and there was fireworks. And it was like so magical because that was the first time I've ever been around snow or anything like that. And so that experience was always in my head. We were in like Colorado. We got stuck in Colorado in the snow and the truck broke down. It was a terrible trip, but it was so fun for me. So fast forward like 3 years, I graduate college. I'm supposed to be going to law school, and I'm like, I'm not ready to, like, it took me 7 years to graduate because I have children. I'm a single mom. So I'm like, I'm not actually ready to go back to school right now. I just want to go do something. And I was like, I could truck drive.
Right.
But on the side of that, I was also in a really deep depression. So at first I was like, I just want to drive so I could drive the truck off a cliff. I was going to kill myself. And I felt like nobody would miss me. I felt like I was a terrible mom, and I didn't want to like be here anymore. So that was really why I got on the truck. Those two reasons, like I remember the nostalgia of that moment, but then I'm like, well, I could also kill myself. And I don't tell people that all the time, but that's how I got into trucking. I just started, just got my CDL, and here I am. Now I'm stuck.
True, though. Yeah. I know people do say once you get into the trucking industry, you never get out. But
you know what? That's so true because I was only supposed to be doing this for like a year, maybe 2.
Right.
I'm going on 3 years, and I don't see me quitting anytime soon. The only way I'm quitting is when I literally get my acceptance letter for law school.
Right.
That's when I'm done.
So you're still holding on to that goal, the one that you have when you graduated college. Trucking is
definitely
going to take you there, you hope. Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean,
yeah. Oh,
driving,
definitely. I'm already there almost.
Yeah. Right. Driving for Variant. I mean, you've got this ambassador program. Like you're hoping that can take you there, right? Will you tell me a little bit about that?
Oh man. So the ambassador program is. Well, let me back up. So we're working for Variant, right?
Right.
We're working for Variant. It's a different type of company. It's kind of like you're an owner operator.
Okay.
You get your loads, they're automated, so you're not really dealing with planners or fleet managers. You don't have nobody calls you.
Right.
Like, in order for me to talk to anybody, I literally have to call them because they just let you do what you do. They're not over your back. Huh?
No dispatchers, nobody calling you all the time.
Right, no dispatchers, none of that. So they let you just run your routes. That's when they say they want to hire the cream of the crop, the best of the best, because they want drivers that want to make money and they want to do what they're supposed to do, and they don't have to be babysat. Right. So I don't have anybody calling me. So I feel like I'm an owner operator. Like I really get to do what I do best, and that's be a driver. So then when you think about being an ambassador, so Variant, they pay you cents per mile, whatever, right? But then being an ambassador takes it a step further because I am an owner operator. Like I'm the type of person, you fake it till you make it. If I want it, I'm going to pretend like I'm that until I get it. Right. So I'm an owner operator. I own my own business.
Right.
This truck is my business, right? I have a fleet. This is me. I'm the first one on my fleet. And then being an ambassador allows you to make your own money. So you you don't have a cap on your income, and you basically recruit drivers. So I'm an ambassador. So I'm a driver ambassador, where I go out and I talk to drivers and I let them know what an awesome company Variant is, and they can come onto my fleet, the money fleet. That's what I call it.
Yeah, I like
And I'll have a team of drivers under my fleet. So then that's kind of like being an owner operator, having a fleet of trucks, and you have your drivers. And then I get paid, either if they have 12 plus months experience, I get 1 cent per mile for every mile that they drive. And if they have 24 plus months experience, I get 2 cents per mile for every mile that they drive. But my thing is, it's not about the money for me, because we're the money fleet. I want my drivers to make money too. So
right.
I encourage all of my recruits, become an ambassador. When you come to Variant, you're going to see the difference between all the other trucking companies and Variant. You're going to believe in it. You're going to understand it. You're going to love it. And you're going to want to bring other drivers in too. So then now your income is not capped, and you're going to get the same amount of money that I have. My goal is to have all of my drivers become ambassadors, and we're going to have the money fleet. And I want us to be the top fleet at Variant.
Absolutely.
And that's how the ambassador program works, basically. So yeah, it's uncapped. If I hire one driver a month, and they have 24 months experience, for example, I give myself a 2 cent raise every month.
Yeah.
And then if they hire drivers, they give themselves 1 to 2 cent raise every month, and it's uncapped. Now
Yeah.
you're capped at how long you can get money off the driver, but
Right.
you're not capped on how many drivers you could bring in.
Sure.
That's the best thing about it. I just got off the phone with another ambassador. He said he's already made $50,000 so far this year
Wow.
off of just recruits.
Yeah.
And they're making money because they're ambassadors. They're making money. So
And they're at a
it's
good
a
company
great program.
that's giving you miles, right? You're getting
Great.
you're always
Yes.
going somewhere. So
They guarantee you 2,500 miles. So let me tell you about Variant, I guess. So we're
yeah,
on the subject.
yeah.
We just
What?
glassed over that one.
Well, I mean, what brought you to Variant as opposed to, there's a driver shortage right now. People are pawning after drivers left and right. What brought you to this company as opposed to some of your other options?
Well, actually, I was driving local for US Express.
Okay.
My goal was, at first I was driving, I started with night transportation, then I went over to Martin, then I went over to USA Truck. But I had my eye on this local position in Houston. I kept seeing these US Express trucks. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to be home with my kids. I
Right.
can study for law school, and then I can really dig into law school.
Sure.
So I was driving local, but I was making the same money that I was making when I was driving for Amazon, like the vans going house to house.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I don't have time to study. I'm not making enough, like 800 a week. So when I was looking for companies to drive for, I had already done my research before I started driving. So I pretty much knew what companies offered what. And I was like, what is Variant? I saw Variant orientation. What is Variant? What do they do? So I called and asked them, like, what is Variant? And they were like, we are what is the word? I wanted to use the word he used. I forgot the word that he used, but they're a new company. We're a new company that is setting the standard for how companies are supposed to treat drivers, how companies are supposed to pay drivers, how drivers are supposed to be rewarded, because we're the ones that's making the money for the company.
Right.
It's not that some companies treat us like we need them. Y'all need us. It's a driver shortage. So he told me, he was like, starting out, you'll make 58 cents per mile. You could go home every 2 weeks. I wasn't listening to all that stuff because I'm like, I was looking for a company where I can go home every weekend
Right.
to be at home with my kids, but with the option to stay out. Usually I stay out for 2 weeks anyway. On the dedicated route where I'm home weekly, I usually stay out for 2 weeks.
Right.
So he was telling me about the truck. You get, the inverter, APU, refrigerator. You get a TV mount. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then he was like, you get paid 58 cents per mile. I'm like, okay, that might be nice. And then he was like, you could go home every 2 weeks. I'm like, okay. And then he said, the ambassador program, he told me about that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Your
And
ears
so I was
perked
like,
up.
well,
You're like,
right.
oh, I got that.
It
Yeah.
perked up when he said 58 cents per mile, because at that moment I was only making 43 cents per mile.
Okay.
So
Wow.
that's a huge, that's like, I think that was like a $600 difference in my paycheck every week.
Yeah, for sure.
And he said, we guarantee you 2,500 miles a week. You promise you that. You're going to make more than that, but we guarantee at least 2,500 miles. And I
Right,
did
on
the
your
math.
worst week, like
Right.
that's what you'll get.
I
Yeah.
did the math. I'm like, my check is going to be more, it's going to be $600 more
Yeah.
if I just did 2,500 miles. I know on average I drive like 3,500 miles on average. So, or 3,000 miles on average. So I'm like, okay, that's a big jump. I can make more money. Then maybe I can study. And then he was like, the home time, which is another thing that got me. He was
Right.
like, every 6 days you get to go home. So he was like, and so I'm talking to the transfer people. I'm not talking to a recruiter. So that made me trust him a little bit more, because he's not a recruiter. This is somebody
Sure.
for internal transfers. So I'm like, okay. He was like, you go home every 6 days. Every 6 days you get 1 day off, but you have to stay out for a minimum of 2 weeks. And this is where he got me. He was like, 12 days, 2 days off. 18 days, 3 days off. 24 days, 4 days off. But if you do 28 days or more, you get 5 days off. I'm like, most companies you get 3, if you're out 4 weeks, you get 4 days, right?
Right.
That's 30 days. But 28 days, I can get 5 days off. So if I work more than 28 days, every 6 days you get a day.
Right.
I've been out
So
for
it
6
just
weeks. I'm gonna
adds.
go home. I'm gonna go home for 6 days. I've been out for 6 weeks. I'm gonna go home for 6 days. And that's what got me. I'm like, I definitely want to do it. Like, how do I sign up? But I was like, wait. What's the difference between you and US Express? Like, what's the difference?
Right.
Because I already work for US Express, so why am I transferring departments? Or he was like, no, you're transferring to Variant. It's a whole nother company. And he was like, basically, we use US Express for our shop, our payroll, like HR, safety, things like that. But Variant, so US Express is on the back end, and Variant is driver focused operations side. And I'm
Right.
like, okay, whatever. I didn't understand it at the time
Yeah.
until I got to Irving, where I picked up my truck. And they treated me, this is why I love this company. They treated me so good. I had to drive my day cab from Houston to Irving to pick up my truck, which wasn't in Irving at the time. And I was like, they was like, you got to go to Oklahoma to pick the truck up. And I'm like, so you wait until I get to Irving? See, this company already, they're already talking, and I was really frustrated, because like, you could have told me that. I have all of my food, because you guys told me we have refrigerators. I have all my food in here, and it's going to spoil because I don't have a refrigerator to put in. You want to send me to Oklahoma? So they was like, well, we could put you in a red truck and we can buy you a refrigerator. I was like, no, I want the gray truck. I want the inverter. I want the TV mount. I want the APU. Like that, those don't have that. And they was like, okay, well then you have to go to Oklahoma. So they sent me to Oklahoma. I got the truck. It smelled like cat urine in it, which I was pissed, because I picked it up from a yard or whatever, because I wanted a gray truck so bad. Then not a yard, but like tow truck place or whatever.
Sure.
And then I had to go back to Irving to get it detailed. They paid for they gave me $300 just because of my inconvenience. They gave me food. They paid for my food while I was in Oklahoma. When I was coming back to Irving, they put me in a hotel room, and it wasn't like one of those hotel rooms that trucking terminals send you to that's close to the terminal. A shuttle brings you. No, we don't do shuttles. We do Uber and Lyft. They send you wherever you need to go through Uber, Lyft, or rental car. And they put me in the Courtyard Marriott. So I'm like, I want a hot meal. I don't want the coronavirus meal in the bag.
Right.
I want a hot meal. I wasn't acting like that, but I was like, is it possible that I can get like a room where they have a hot meal? They was like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
the difference between us and US Express. We could choose which hotel we want you to put. You could choose
Right.
what hotel you want to put you in. We don't have to go with a certain hotel. So they put me in the Courtyard Marriott, and then my truck got detailed, but I didn't know how to work the inverter or the APU. And
Right.
I'm like, that was the week of that big old terrible snowstorm in Texas. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it won't get hot. It won't stay hot. Like, what's happening? So they put me in a hotel room again and paid me for my inconvenience. And then I came back out the shop, and still the inverter or the APU wasn't working. And I'm like, I just gotta go. They gave me a load from Texas to California. I didn't want to miss that load. So I'm like, you know what, forget it. Take the truck out the shop. I'm just gonna go. but I need a heater. Like, it's cold. It's going to be
Right.
freezing. And they bought me a heater. They bought me a heater.
Wow.
So I picked my truck up. I got everything loaded and ready to go. I had to get chains, and I hurt my back. I strained it. And so before the check came, and after my last check from US Express, which was like $200, and before my variant check, I had no money. They sent me money so I can buy some medicine, so I will feel better. It was either that or go home. If I was to see a doctor and a doctor took me off of the truck, I wouldn't
Right.
have to go home.
Right.
And so they gave me money to get medicine. And Miranda, I shout out to Miranda if you're watching this, but she made sure I had everything that I needed. Whatever I didn't think I needed, she made sure I had, and I didn't even know I needed it. If there
Right.
was a problem, she corrected the problem before it even happened. And they did what a lot of truck companies don't do. They care about the driver. And what we mean by care about us, compensate us for what
Right.
we're worth. My first check was over $1,200, and I only had one load
Wow. Yeah.
because of all the compensation that they gave me. And then I was like, you know what, they care. Like, if it keeps going this way, then this is the company I want to be at. And then
Right.
since then, they've given us a raise since I started 3 times. So I
That's
started at 56 cents per mile. I'm now at 60 cents per mile. And I did the math on that one. Plus, then I have one recruit right now that's currently driving. So now I'm making I think he has 2 years experience. So I think I'm making 62 cents per mile right now.
okay.
And
Awesome.
the
Industry leading.
drivers that come in, yes,
Yeah.
somebody was like, Crete, they're paying more than Variant. And Variant was like, we got this. We got you.
Right.
We got you. They have deep pockets. Variant has deep pockets. Like, when I went to the terminal in Tunnel Hill to do a meeting, I was going to interview Dalton for the Variant Ambassador program. They took me to lunch, and they say on their website, if you ever come through one of the terminals, come in and say hi, we'll treat you to lunch. What trucking? They put me on a 34-hour reset so I can do the terminal, and they paid me, and they took me to lunch. Like, who does that? Most
Variant.
companies, they just want you to run. Right.
Right.
Variant. They
Yeah.
have deep pockets.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
I forgot to tell you too, with the ambassador program, because they're just thanking us for doing so well and being ambassadors and representing the company. They're sending all of their ambassadors to a 5-day, 4-night trip to Cancun, all inclusive. So food and drinks, all inclusive. You
Wow.
get to bring a +1, plus you get to get a free excursion. So excursion is like swimming with the dolphins, zip lining through the jungle, visiting the ruins, stuff like that. And so if I bring over 3 drivers, I get that trip. If I bring over 4 drivers, the airfare is included. If I bring over 5 drivers, I get the upgraded room to a swim up suite. So there's like a pool, and you literally swim up to your door. And
Awesome.
if I get 6 drivers, I get the presidential suite, and then I have dinner with the execs, the Variant execs. So I tell all of my recruits, when you come into Variant, you still have a chance. The promotion is going on until August 2nd.
Yeah.
You still have a chance, and you can be in the presidential suite with me.
Right.
You don't just have to be a driver. You can be an ambassador and go to Cancun with me.
Right. And you got
Who
time.
does that? Who
There's
does that?
plenty of time. Yeah.
There's plenty of time.
That's
Who
awesome.
does that? Yeah.
That is awesome.
Mm.
I mean, I can't even believe
Sleeping.
that. Like, I've never heard of any company doing anything like that and driver ambassador program is also unlike, I mean, I know other companies have them, but I mean, it's a great idea. I mean, it's a great program, and I'm really glad that you're a part of it.
I
I'm
know
glad
other
that
companies have it, but they just pay you like a referral bonus. I
right,
never heard of any companies that actually pay you cents per mile per driver. Or if they do, it's for a very short time. We
right.
get this for 2 years, and it's uncapped. A lot
Yeah.
of companies might cap it.
And I mean, what also caught my attention is you talked about the setup that you have in your truck, like the TV mount and whatever. And I see your lights back there. I love them, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
What other kind of setup things do you have? What do you do for entertainment while you're on the road?
Well, I'm a firm believer that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So while I'm driving, I can choose to spend my time with gossip radio or music or TV or whatever the case may be, or I can try to use that time to um, better myself. So I'm listening to things that are like how to start a business, how to build an LLC, how to market, how to advertise. I listen to things on how I can pass my law school admissions test,
Right.
how I can be a better leader, how I can be a better ambassador. We have Zoom meetings every 2 weeks with the variant ambassadors, and we bounce ideas off each other and stuff like that. So I'm just always trying to better myself. I don't want to be driving every now, I don't do it every day, but every now and then I'll watch some TV or listen to some music. But for the most part, why not knock out two birds with one stone, right? Like, for example, my best friend, he's a millionaire. And then he has an honorary doctorate in entrepreneurship. You get an honorary doctorate when you're a master at your craft and you know so much about it that they have to award you for it. He
Right.
taught himself how to be an entrepreneur. So if I can master something while I'm on the road, I want to have something to show for my time away from my children. I want to be a role model for them. So I always try to just do something. Like, I'll send them videos and stuff that I listen to, motivational videos, how
Right.
to be a better person, how to learn, how to be a leader, how to encourage others, how to give back, all kind of stuff. I'm always
Yeah.
trying to learn. That's how I use my time when I'm driving.
Yeah. And there's plenty of stuff like that out there. I mean, you'll
Yeah,
never run out. So I mean,
ebooks especially.
yeah.
And you can get ebooks for free on YouTube.
That's right. That's right. YouTube is a
You
great
don't have to
place.
pay for it. Yes.
Right. And
I have a
podcasts
YouTube
too
channel.
are free.
Podcast too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love
Plug your
podcasts.
YouTube channel. Talk about it a little bit if you want.
Okay, well, I started my YouTube channel, Dollface Trucker, because when I first started driving, I think there was only two women drivers. It was Sunshine Diva and Miss Diva Trucker.
Okay.
And I'm like, there's no other girls that look like me. Because when I was looking, before I started driving, I was looking for what is it like being a driver as a female driver.
Right.
And all the questions that I had, I couldn't find it on YouTube, and that's where I wanted to find it at. So I was like, there's a niche. I can do it. I can show
Right.
people that you can wear nails and do your hair and your makeup and be cute and still be a truck driver.
Right.
So then I started Dollface Trucker channel, and where I was just doing trucking videos. And then it evolved into a vlog of just my lifestyle. And now it's basically my personal website, but in video form. And I use that to advertise. I use that to just talk with my viewers. I mostly do live videos.
Yeah.
I bought a GoPro, so I'll be able to show, like, because I'm making enough money now. I can
Right.
literally stop on my 10-hour break or my 34-hour break and go do something and don't have to worry about, dang, I got to hurry up and go back to work so I can make some more money. I'm making
Right.
enough money where I can actually put that GoPro to use and go be a tourist somewhere.
Right.
So that's what I use my channel for. I want everybody to look at it. It's not trucking only, you can only go so far with trucking videos. So it's not necessarily a trucking channel. 99% of my viewers are truckers,
Right.
but they only come to my channel because they say, you're just real and you're just yourself. You're yourself, and we can tell you are a kind-hearted person, you're a real person, you're true, like you're honest, and you have good character, and that's why we watch you. So sometimes I get on there, I don't talk about anything. I'm just like, hey y'all.
Hey y'all, what's
But
up?
they love watching it. Like, they
Yeah.
just love it. I like doing videos when I'm at home with my kids in the kitchen. We be in the kitchen cooking and acting up, and they're so crazy and weird. Trinity, she has like her own personality. They want her to do her own YouTube channel. That's how goofy she is. Like, oh my gosh. So yeah, that's my YouTube channel, Dollface Trucker or Dollface Nation. I call
Okay.
it Dollface Nation because I'm Dollface Trucker. My viewers are Dollface Nation. We
Right.
are one. It's not
Right.
just me, right? Just like I have the money team. This is not just me, it's all of us. So
Right.
it's gonna be Dollface Nation.
That's awesome. Yeah, authenticity goes a long way, period, no matter where
Yes.
you are. And you were talking about you feel like you're a tourist, wherever you go. So it's good for me to hear that as a trucker, you can enjoy these places now, right? Like you get to go to all
Yes.
these places, and I feel like before, and I hear a lot, oh yeah, I drove through there. You don't really get to experience it. So if you want, share with me a little bit about your most memorable place that you've been while trucking, whether it be with Variant or whoever else.
Okay. Well, I would want to say this too. The way our loads are like we use the optimizer for our loads, right? So say, for example, after I deliver this load, things in my eye. After I deliver this load, I could set my PTA. So say, for example, I deliver at 5 p.m. tonight, and I have like 8 hours left on my clock. I could set my PTA out for like 8 p.m. so I can use that time to do whatever I want. Like if you don't set your PTA, the optimizer just keeps sending you loads. But you
Right.
can set your PTA. Like they're not gonna jump down your throat because you don't want to drive right after the next load. You literally can tell them when you want to drive.
Right.
They don't see it actually. Like if I'm sure they can, they'll look you up or whatever, they'll look you up. But it's not like they're, planners or DMs, they're actually checking their drivers. They don't have time for that. What they have time for is kind of like I think of it like they're my assistant. They're called driver op specialists. I feel like they're my assistant. I'm the owner operator. This is my truck. This is my business. I have my fleet. And when I need something, I call my assistants and they help me because they're not going to call me, right?
Right.
So you can set your PTA out to do something. Like if I shut down, if I deliver this load and I have 5 hours left on my clock, I probably have enough time to go pick up another load, but maybe I'm tired or maybe I want to study. So I
Right.
can set my PTA for the next morning and then the optimizer won't send me a load and Variant is not going to call me talking about, oh, you need to get rolling. They're not going to do that. So I just wanted to point that out. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I say you have time to do things that you want to do. If
For
I go to a city that I want to explore, don't send me to Washington or Oregon because I'm definitely setting my PTA. Like I gotta go hiking or something. Like
Right.
I love it out there.
It's
And
gorgeous.
my most memorable, I think, would have been that Colorado trip. It was a terrible trip, but so I had an abscess tooth that I never went to the dentist for. Like you have a broken a chipped tooth in the back or whatever, and it hurts when you eat sugar or something sweet or something cold. No, a lot of people don't really go to the dentist until it's really a problem, until it
Right.
won't stop hurting. So I didn't go to the dentist because it wasn't like hurting like that. But when we got up into the altitude, it was it hurt so bad. I laid in a corner of the truck and I had pillows all around me because I couldn't lay my head to one side or the other. I had to sit straight and sleep straight. We ended up having to go to we went to the hospital because I had an abscess tooth before and it swelled up with like pus and they
Yeah.
had the lancet to get the
Yeah.
pus out, right? So I was like, I gotta go to the hospital because it's swelling up. The altitude is making it swell up. So I go to the hospital. We got this big old 18-wheeler trying to turn corners in the hospital parking lot. It was
Right.
crazy. We got stuck, all kind of stuff. So I go in there and they went and can you hear me?
Yeah, you cut out for a second,
Oh,
but I got
it
you now.
went off. Okay.
You're okay.
They went and lancet for me. So they was like, I'm gonna just put the scalpel here. What you do with the scalpel is what you do with it. Because I was like, just give me the scalpel. I'll do it myself if you're not gonna do it. And I was like, we'll just put it right here and you do what you do with it. So I lanced it, but it was already too late. The infection spread through my body. I had sepsis, so I had C-sections, right? And what I didn't know was sepsis can cause your C-section incision to open. It didn't hurt. I could stick my finger through this incision. I stuck my finger through it. And I called my doctor. I'm like, I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm in Colorado and I'm about to die because I have sepsis and I got holes in my stomach. He was like, you're gonna be all right. Just take some penicillin. You're gonna be good. So then I took the penicillin. I got better. We go back up the mountain and finish our load. The starter went out on the truck. So the first night the starter went out, we didn't know it was the starter. We thought it was a battery. So it was like, we'll just spend the night in the truck and then in the morning call for road service because we were snowed in.
Right.
And we didn't know it was the starter. So we had to get towed off the mountain. We were in a hotel room for like 3 weeks while the truck was getting fixed. Mind you, I had to go to school because school was starting. And I missed like the first week of school because we were stuck in Colorado. It was terrible, but it was so fun. I
Yeah.
got to eat some food and I got to go through the snow. I love snow. And I
Yeah.
got to see the mountains. I love the mountains. It should have been an experience where I don't ever want to drive trucks. Like most drivers were like, nope, I'm good.
I'm out.
But to me, I was like, I want more of it. Like, I
Yeah.
love it. It was so fun. So that was my most memorable experience driving, going
Awesome.
through all of that in Colorado.
Is that the one where you saw the New Year's fireworks? Is that the
Yes.
same one? Yeah.
Well, that was the trip. So the
Yeah.
fireworks was in Flagstaff. We were in
Okay.
Flagstaff going to pick up something and then go to Colorado because we were leaving Nevada.
Right.
Oh, it was crazy. There was one time where we were on the road. I don't remember where we were at. if I had to guess, I would say Wyoming. But it was whiteout conditions, and we had to pull over on the side of the road, but it was snow, so you don't know if the road is going to slope down or not. We pulled over, and the truck tilted to where like you can literally open your door and it hit the snow on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And I jumped out the truck. I'm like, I'm not getting back in the truck. It's gonna tip over. I thought the truck was gonna tip over. I was so scared. The snow was so high in the truck. Oh my goodness, yeah. It was fun though.
Yeah, it's fun. You came back,
Yeah,
so I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
I love it.
awesome.
I love
Yeah.
driving.
I'm glad to hear it, and it sounds like you're the best company for you.
It's making it hard for me to go to law school. Like my plan was to enroll or apply for law school next fall, because this fall is already done. So I was going to take the LSAT in September, and then that would be the application cycle for that next fall. But I'm about to put it off. Like I'm making too much money. Like why not just stay here and stack up some money and build my credit? I have a savings account now. I didn't have one with the other trucking companies. I'm investing. I have stocks and bonds that I'm investing in. I have increased my credit score since I've been at this company, 140 points. Since I've been here,
Wow.
I got here in February at Variant, 140 points. And I have money to spend and send to my kids, and I'm paying my bills. That's how much money I'm making. And that's not off of recruits.
Right. That's just you driving. And those recruits are going to be coming in to the money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If you're interested in Variant, you need to be at least 21 years old. You have to have at least 12 months experience, have a clean driving record. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but if you have 12 plus months experience, you get 58 cents per mile. You could choose to do per diem. I don't know the exact amount for the per diem. And then if you have 24 plus months experience, you can get 60 cents per mile. Now, if you have 12 plus months experience, after another 12 months, you'll go back up to the 60 cent. Awesome. You won't stay at 58 cent. And then of course, if you become an ambassador, you can get the 1 to 2 cent per mile. So I have a link and an email and a phone number if anybody wanted to apply.
And that's
under
all
my fleet though.
What'd you say?
Under my fleet, under the money fleet.
Yeah,
you'll be driving for me. And then I'll be your mentor. So I'm an ambassador, meaning I'm a driver recruiter. Like it's better to recruit as a driver, because most drivers want to hear what's going on from the driver. They don't want to hear it from a recruiter. They don't trust recruiters.
Right.
So I'm the ambassador, but when you come in the door, I'm your mentor. So it doesn't just stop when you come in the door and you won't hear from me. You're going to hear from me throughout your whole career. I'll be there for you through the whole time.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, and all of those, the email, the phone number, and the link are all available in the description below, so they can get in contact with you that way. But it's been great to talk to you. I hope that you have a great rest of your haul to Alabama. Roll Tide.
Thank you. It was great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on with you. I look forward to talking to you again sometime soon. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.